All right, welcome back into DSI football, coming to a close this weekend, but basketball in full gear after tipping off tonight in Delaware.
That's right, our saving grace. The Henlopen North Championship rematch with a lot less fireworks this year, right? Of course, Cape Henlopen visiting defending conference champ Smyrna. A new look Smyrna squad taking on the Vikings. Smyrna ended Cape's season last year. Well, these are two totally different teams now. Early on, the Eagles getting the offense going through Jakir Hampton, nailing the three. First points of the 2018 season, and then the Eagles out in transition. Ron Jackson battling through the contact. He looks like a player. Hoop there for the and one, but the Vikings begin to catch some fire on the offensive end. Javon Burton picking the pocket, and he's headed to the other end for two.
Now, Cape trailed in this entire game until about 6:42 left in the fourth. Ethan Pires. Fancy with the Euro step and puts it in to tie the ball game up. Next possession for the Vikings. Burton stops and drops. Saucy. Three-pointer to give Cape the very late lead. Vikings up by 5, and at this point, Hampton going to nail a three with just under a second left in the game to make it just enough. No, keep it interesting, right? But the Vikings able to inbound the ball, and they upset the Eagles to start off the season. The final, you see the score 53-51.
Well, there you go, an absolute thriller. And Trey, you kind of stole the thunder. Less fireworks in this rematch than we had last year.
Thankfully, right?
Thankfully, yes. We like to see that. But what was the difference down the stretch there in this tight game?
I got to say, Cape's guys just simply stepped up and made big plays and made a statement in game one. That's how you come out and start game one. You know what I mean? To come out and, basketball, it's close quarters.
It's
people,
true.
You saw the aftermath. People were kind of, chest bumping and stuff like that. Basketball is really personal here on the Eastern Shore. For these guys to have the heart to go into a different environment and come out victorious in game one, I think that says a lot about Cape's season.
And anybody that goes into Smyrna High School plays inside that gym. It's a large gym. They have great attendance that comes out there, especially on Friday nights, and especially in a rivalry game, despite everything that happened last season. So these two teams wanted to win. Now, we also saw Smyrna, they lost Caleb Matthews this season. One of the most prolific scorers, Gatorade Player of the Year in Delaware last year. Someone that would absolutely have made a difference. Nonetheless, in this game, big moments. So something like this, Cape coming out with this win, a big, big way to start the season.
I was about to say, you also got to give some credit to Cape Henlopen, who's also losing a lot of talent. Randy Rickers, of course, but Ian Robertson, one of their best players.
1,000-point scorers.
Exactly. So give it to those guys, came back and fought in a tough environment.
So great way to start off all of our Delaware basketball coverage, and for even more and a plethora of games, we're sending it back over to Jonah.
Thanks, guys. We'll start up in the state's capital with Dover hosting Sussex Tech. Senators looking to jump out of the gate strong against one of the best teams from the Henlopen Conference last year. And early on in transition, Ravens' Kevin Custis hit in the mouth. No foul, but the bucket is good. Senators, though, a lot of athletes on this team. Wanya Wise off the dish from the corner. Dover up 40-17 at the half. Coming out swinging in second half. Tech trying to climb out of a whole 6-0 run right out of the gate. Skylar Johnson knocks one down from deep, and then Jay-Sean Johnson, JJ with a kiss off the glass. But in the end, it would just be too much Dover. Elijah Allen, whose brother Jordan dominated years back, stop and pop from three. He finished with a 28-burger on the night. And then Allen, once again in transition. He could be one of the top players in the Henlopen Conference this year. A name to remember, Dover, they simply destroy Tech 74-58. So over to Dagsboro, tip-off tournament at Indian River High School. Laurel and Delmarva Christian. Early on this one, all about the Royals and Andrew Workman, the junior forward, dominating 37 points on the night in the first Delaware game of the season. The and one there, count the bucket. Of course, the free throw was good, but that's when Laurel would turn on the Jets. Bryson Sanders with the steal and finish in transition to cut the lead to 11. And then Deshaun Matthews from the corner. He knocks down the triple to cut it to single digits, and then Skip Fast finds Sanders again, dialing up the long distance. So just like that, the lead's cut to 4, but it would be too late. The Royals ice it with some free throws and get the win over Laurel. The Easy Act represent 62-58.
It feels really good because the last couple years in this tip-off tournament, we've dropped our first game, and we've actually been 0-2. So it feels really nice to be the first team to be 1-0. And there are a lot of upstate schools that people are talking about, and our motto this year is I think it should be shock the state, because I think we have the talent and the ability to do so.
Workman just put in 37 after dropping in Tilted Towers. All right, later in the night, new Worcester Prep boys coach John Moser in his first game against Jameer Felton in Indian River. First possession, Michael Curtis knocks down the 3, but from there, it was all Indian River. Felton with the crossover and finish in the lane to retake the lead. Felton, again, this time off the steal, wide open in transition. So after that first 3 by the Mallards, River would go on an 18-0 run throughout the entire first half. Antonio Jones adds another triple. Indian River gets the opening night win 54-36 over the Mallards. All right, over to Delmar. They're opening up their season with Sussex Academy. Check out Seahawks guard Ricky Costando with the spin move and the floater in the lane for 2. But his squad still down big. Cats returning some talent. Probably their best returner is Jeremiah Lumpkin-Beal. He hits the jumper off the inbounds pass. And then a few possessions later, it's Ace Shepard knocking down the 3 from the wing. And then off the fast break, Shepard getting out in transition with a nice pass, threading the needle to Isaiah Kane, and 1. Delmar walks away with an easy 74-22 win to open up the year. Back over to you guys at the desk.
All right. Wow, exactly. Yeah. A lot of blowouts, you know, but it's night one. You expect that, you know. You're starting to get into the swing of things. So let me ask you, too, what impressed you from night one? And then secondly, what are you guys looking forward to for the season in Delaware?
I'll say, first of all, what impressed me was the amount of blowouts. It looked like some teams practiced, and clearly some teams had more practice than others with the football season extended. But it looked like some teams practiced. It looked like some teams practiced against their JV, to me, frankly. The other thing that stands out to me, and I'm really interested to see, is who will emerge in the Henlopen South. The Henlopen South in basketball is a lot different than football.
Right.
There's not a lot of really strong teams. There's not a lot of height, as you could see by Delmar's team and their team in the conference at all. So it's going to be who's going to emerge to take that Henlopen South championship. We saw Indian River. They look pretty good. So I want to see who's going to be that team to beat in the Henlopen this year.
Yeah, speaking of the South, and I want to touch on Delmar because we saw this team during our summer league that we have out in Snow Hill, and they were beginning to kind of mold and come together, but now they play a Sussex Academy team. They put up 74 points, beat them by 52 or whatever the difference was, and it seems like, you know, at least to open up the season, they're starting to kind of come together and they're learning some plays, and they look much better than they did over the summer. So to see that transition from August to now is really nice to see, despite the long football season.
I really want to say also, those Woodbridge guys who have a state championship game tomorrow may have something to say when it comes to that Henlopen South basketball title. And that's going to be on the line. Those guys are defending champs. They got a lot of athletes on that football team who can't play basketball yet, but they say, hold on. We're coming. Well, let us go get the ring first.
Give me the weekend.
Then we're going to hit the court.
And then we're going to get
Keep
the court.
that ring in my locker while I go on the court.
Exactly.
There you go. Well, unfortunately, folks, it is time for another break. Straight ahead, though, we'll give you a quick recap of the news of the night, including a story out of Georgetown where the city is already getting into the holiday spirit.
I'm Justin Davis, girls coach, Sussex Tech High School in Georgetown. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.